2, Metamorphosis uses shadow energy to fight and relies heavily on unarmed combat. At the start of each round, all your attacks are slowed down, but you become unbreakable during this state. Landing a hit grants you 1 speed up, which increases your attack speed. Speed up can stack up to 3 times, boosting your attack speed even more with each stack. Once you gain speed up, you will lose your unbreakability. All speed up stacks will be lost when you are hit by your opponent's attack, but when you have none, you become unbreakable again. Metamorphosis also comes with an active ability called Swarm Euphoria. When you're outside shadow form, you grab your enemy and detonate, dealing lethal damage to yourself and shadow damage to your opponent. Then you reborn with your health restored to what it was before the explosion, plus 9% of the damage dealt by Euphoria. Using this move also generates shadow energy. This ability is insanely powerful. Every second in shadow form drains 4% of your health. And inside shadow form, your shadow energy bar takes damage instead of your health bar. You should know that your shadow energy will not decrease on its own like normal sets. You have 4 shadow moves, each of which consumes health instead of energy. This is Whirl, Hailstorm, Twirl, and Pegtop. Swarm Euphoria works differently when you're in shadow form. You release a wave of moths toward the enemy, pushing them back and dealing shadow damage. On top of that, Metamorphosis has another ability called Euphoria. You can trigger it by dealing lethal damage to yourself with a shadow move inside shadow form. It makes you explode, dealing shadow damage and instantly ending your shadow form. After that, you reborn with full health. Plus, every time you take shadow damage in shadow form, Euphoria has a 7% chance to trigger automatically. So yes, you can literally respawn multiple times. Sounds broken, right? Level 3. Starting from level 3, successful hits with ranged weapons grant 1 speed up. You stay unbreakable until you have 2 speed ups. Health restored from Swarm Euphoria is increased. Shadow move health cost is reduced. Level 4. At level 4, you begin each round with 1 speed up. Each active speed up increases your attack speed by 1%. Your attacks ignore a portion of the enemy's defense for each speed up you have. After Reborn with Euphoria, you gain 1 speed up and are covered in shadows for 2 seconds, boosting all shadow energy gained from any source during that time. Level 5. At level 5, your attacks generate more shadow energy for each speed up you have. Maximum speed up stacks increase by 1. Health drain while in shadow form is reduced by 2%. Swarm Euphoria generates 3% more shadow energy. Level 6. At level 6, as long as you have at least 1 speed up, your unarmed attacks can trigger a dash and have a chance to break through blocks. You remain unbreakable until you have 3 speed ups. Now, when hit, you only lose 1 speed up instead of all of them. Shadow moves consume less health. In shadow form, you also take 4% less damage from abilities and effects that deal damage over time. Each shadow move grants shadow growth, boosting all your shadow damage until shadow form ends. Your active combo won't reset for 5 seconds after using Euphoria. Event boss fights. Alright, let's test how well the Metamorphosis set performs in event boss fights. Metamorphosis vs. Butcher. Butcher is honestly too easy. Let's try a tougher, tankier boss, one of the most annoying bosses in the game. Metamorphosis vs. Chorus of the Void. Since we use mostly shadow combos against Butcher, let's fight Chorus of the Void this time using only unarmed attacks. OMG, that punch really hurts. Now in round 2, let's combine unarmed attacks with shadow moves. Even against the super tanky Chorus of the Void, Metamorphosis has no trouble at all. This set is an absolute powerhouse. Based on its abilities, I think there are 3 main builds you can try. If you want to dominate with pure unarmed attacks, this build is for you. If you prefer to maximize its shadow abilities, go with this build. And if you want a balanced playstyle combining unarmed attacks and shadow moves, this hybrid build is perfect for you. These are all the perks you can use for Metamorphosis, so if you don't have one of the perks from those 3 builds, feel free to look for alternatives here. Final thoughts. From its unique abilities to its performance against tough event bosses, I'd say Metamorphosis is easily one of the strongest sets in the game right now. It's powerful in events, story mode, duels, and even raids.